Hello to all my beginner acro students. So welcome back. We're going to carry on working with our acro primary and level 1 syllabus. We're going to do a range of flexibility, strength, balance, a bit of limbering, and a tiny bit of tumbling today as well. Okay, so what you're going to need for today's class is something like this. So I've just grabbed a pom-pom off the top of my hat actually, but if you had a ball that'd be great, or a bean bag, or if you haven't got that, a cushion will even work, okay? But ideally something small and round and soft would be fabulous, but we'll work with whatever you've got, and don't worry if you haven't got anything. Okay, so first thing we need to do is make sure we've got a nice safe space this way and this way. Second thing we need to do is make sure that we're just doing this in our house on our own, okay? And we're going to start with just 10 star jumps and 20 knees running nice and high to get us nice and warm, okay? You ready? 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, running, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Was that good? Good, because we're going to do it all again. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Running, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good, hopefully we're feeling nice and warm. Good job. So we're going to start off with our stretching, and we're going to work on our cobra stretch today and also a straddle stretch. So we're going to start on our bottoms, and I want you to put your legs out as nice and wide as you can. Now I'm going on a slight angle just because I don't have enough room to go straight to the front, okay? So I want your legs to go as wide as you can, sitting in second, or sitting in straddle, sorry, I forgot where I was. So we want our toes fully stretched and our backs up nice and straight. And to make it a straddle stretch, we need to stretch our arms forward. So this is a straddle sit, and we're going to reach forwards, trying to get our tummies flat on the floor. Now, boys and girls, it's really important that your knees don't bend up like this, that they stay glued down to the floor. So if you need to bring your legs a little bit closer, then that's allowed, okay? All right, so toes pointed. Now what we're going to try and do as a bit of help for us to get our back straight is we're going to keep our shoulders up. I'm going to walk our hands, keeping our shoulders up. Keep walking forwards, keep those shoulders up. And as soon as you start to look at the floor, stop. Okay, so keep your shoulders up and go walking as low as you can, keeping those shoulders up. And we're going to hold that. Okay, we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now walk back in. Good job. Okay, so this time we're going to now do our cobra stretch. So for our cobra stretch, we need to imagine that we're like a little tortoise. So when we're laid on the floor, we're down in our little shells, and then as we come out of our shells, our head pops out first, goes really long, and it comes up all the way up to look. So we're making our necks really long, and we want to be like a giraffe with a long neck and not scrunched over like this, okay? So we're going to start off as tortoises but finish like giraffes. So laying down, tummies on the floor, and that's also really important that your tummy and your hips stay on the floor. Legs together, toes pointed, and tortoise heads coming out and coming up, and nice and long, and shoulders back, and nice long necks, nice long heads, and we're going to just hold this stretch, okay? So hips on the floor. So I'm not lifting up like that, or my hips down on the floor, and I don't want to be like that. Nice long necks. Ready? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down, and heads back in your shell. Good job, everybody. Okay, so there are our stretches for today. So that's it. That's really good. Now we're going to move on to our conditioning, and today we're going to do our Superman hold, okay? Followed by a Oh, I've forgotten what other stretches we were going to do. Superman hold followed by plank, I think, but I'll double check that. I've got it written down over there. Okay, so we're going to start with our Superman. Now we want our nose looking at the floor, but not on the floor, and our arms up by our ears, and not holding our hands, and not down by our shoulders, okay? Feet together, and we're going to lift up like Superman. Ready? 3, 2, 1, lift. And we're going to hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Okay, I'm going to have a quick check on our next conditioning move. It was a V-sit demonstration. It wasn't a plank, it was a V-sit demonstration. Okay, so this is a tricky one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in like a nice tucked position, but our feet on the floor, so they don't need to be pointed, okay? And I want you to see how tall you can get your back. So how straight can you get your back, okay? Now I want you to keep your feet on the floor, but put your arms out. And can your back stay up straight, or does it go like that? Okay, so we've got to keep pushing up. Keep pushing up nice and straight. Okay, so what we're going to try and do is lift our legs up, and we're going to try and make that V shape, but not round. So we need to stay pushing this way. Ready? And we're going to hold it just for 5 seconds, keeping our back up nice and straight. 3, 2, 1, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? And really stretch those legs out. Do you see I slightly bent my knees, so I've really stretched them at the end. So a V-sit is a new stretch for us. I don't think we've really worked on that yet, or a new conditioning thing. As you get older, you have to hold them for quite a long time. So it'd be really good if we can practice getting that balance now. Arms out, legs up, and holding, and seeing how long you can balance in that position. That'd be really good. Well done. So that's our strength done for today. So I want you to practice those Supermen, or superheroes, I should say, and practice those V-sit stretches, okay? Along with your cobras and your straddle stretches this week. Keep doing your other stretches too, but we're going to move on now to our balancing section. This is where we needed our ball. So if you want to go and grab your ball or your pillow or your fluffy pom-pom, whatever you want to do, okay, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to put this between our legs. So we're going to stand up nice and tall, and you're going to keep your feet together. Now I'm going to just pull my trousers up so you can see. Okay, so what I want us to be able to do is rise up on our ankles, but keeping on our big toes and not doing this, which is a really common thing we do when we're learning. So we're going to put our feet together, and we're going to put our pom-pom or our ball between our ankles. Okay, and this is following on from what we did last week with our pillows on our heads. So we're going to put our hands on our hips, and we're going to rise up, and we're going to do 10 rises, not dropping our pom-pom. Are you ready? And 1. And you've got to go as high as you can. 2. Staying on those big toes. 3. Good job. 4. So nice and high. 5. 6. 7. 8. Doing really well. 9. Last one. 10. Good job. Okay, so if you did that without dropping your pom-pom, we're going to be ready to balance now. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Make sure your pom-pom's nice and secure. So let's squeeze those legs together. We're going to balance for 5 seconds on our tiptoes on both legs without dropping our pom-pom. So hands on your tummy, feet together, pom-pom squeezed, and rising up. Ready? And 5, stay on those tiptoes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Okay, if you didn't manage to do it, that's okay, because you can practice later. Okay, you can have another go at it another time. And if you keep practicing, you'll get so good at rising that when we come back to class, you'll be able to hold it for ages and ages. So when we rise up, we want to be right up on those tiptoes and not down, just up a little bit. We want to be up nice and tall, okay? Right, good. So we're going to move on now. So we've done our one legs last week and we've done all of that. We're going to take it to our limbering section. Now for our limbering today, we are doing our stretching and our flexing feet and our baby bridge and our push up to bridge. Now stretching and flexing feet sounds easy, right? Okay, so we're going to have a look, because this is something you have to do in level 2 as well, but you have to do it even more. So we're going to start with our feet up. So you're going to flex your feet to the ceiling, fingertips on the ground in a pike, and then you're going to push your feet down so they're all the way to the ground. So that's a stretched feet. Then our toes come up, and then our heels come up, and that's a flexed feet. So we're going to do that 5 times. So stretch 1 and flex. Stretch 2 and flex. Sorry if you can hear my creaky ankle. Stretch 3 and flex, and 4 and flex, and last one, 5. Good. So the reason we make sure that we're stretching and flexing our feet all the time is because every time we jump, for our takeoffs, for somersaults and aerials and handsprings, we have to go through that push of our feet. And the more you can peel through your foot, the better push. So if I'm jumping and I'm not stretching and flexing my feet and I'm just doing this, I'm not going to get much of a spring. But if I push through my feet, I get a much better spring. So I'm going to push. And same as when I land. If I land through my feet, it's going to be much softer for me, okay? So that's why learning to stretch and flex our feet, so it happens every time we pick our feet up, is really super important. Good. Bridges. So we've got 2 different bridges we're going to do today. Now normally we say if you're struggling to push up into a bridge, do a table. Not today. We're going to start off with a baby bridge. So we're going to put our feet in nice and close to our bottoms. We're going to lay down. Okay, and our hands are going to be at the side of us. Now what we're going to try and do is lift our tummies as high up as they can go, like this. Now if you can, bring your feet in and try and hold on to your ankles, and then get your tummy as high. Now I've got really tight hips, so mine is not going up that high. But if you can keep your knees together, even better, and feet together, even better, and lift your tummy up as high as they can go, holding on to those feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So in primary, that's what you have to be able to do for your exam, is that baby bridge and holding on to those ankles. If you found that quite easy, we're going to try our full bridge today. Now, in level 1, we don't need to be able to hold it, we don't need to be able to do it perfectly, but we're going to try and do it as best as we can. If we can't get our head to lift up off the ground, then you need to come straight down and do a baby bridge instead, which is what we just did. Okay, so we're going to get in our bridge ready positions. Now for level 1 today, that is going to be legs just as wide as your hips and hands underneath your shoulders, okay? So hands underneath your shoulders, legs just as wide as your hips, elbows pointing up to the sky. Now we're going to push up our tummies to the ceiling, lifting our head off the floor. You ready? 3, 2, 1, push up. And then you're going to push your chest forwards like that. Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Okay, so we're going to keep working on those bridges. Now, the key word that I said there was, as you pushed up, was chest forwards. So as you push up, you push your chest through your arms. So we're trying to get a nice shoulder stretch and trying to get our legs really straight, but we won't be getting that just yet. Now remember, if your head didn't come off the ground, then we need to come back down and not work on our bridges, but work on our baby bridge and getting our hips nice and mobile. All right? Okay, good. You're doing really, really well. We're running through this so fast. So if you want to go back and go over anything, then that's fine, because I know I'm probably going a bit too speedy. And if you want mum or dad to check any of your skills, then you can just pause me and ask them to have a look at something and then see if you're doing it right, and then you can start again, okay? So we're going to finish with a little bit of fun today, and that is our forwards rolls. Now, to be able to do a forwards roll, how we're doing them, you don't need a lot of space. If you can lie down straight like a pencil and put your hands out and not touch anything, then that's enough space for our forward roll. Okay, if you can't do that, then maybe we won't do our forwards roll, maybe you'll just finish there today. But if you can lay down straight without touching anything, then you'll be able to do this. All right, so we're going to start off, everybody, with our somersault. So our somersault on the floor is different to a somersault in the air. So our somersault on the floor should start crouched down like a ball. So hands on the floor, feet on the floor, nose on your knees, like this. Okay, that's our somersault on the floor starting position. Okay, we lift up our bottom. The bottom goes high, and you're going to look at your knees. So come back down. Let's try that again. Lift up your bottom, and then we're going to roll over and finish in a tuck. Okay, so you're going to roll over and finish in a tuck. Okay, now, really important, boys and girls, I'm going to go from the side. I'm not going to roll because I haven't got enough space this way. But as I come down here to do this ball position, it's really important that my knees aren't on the floor, just my hands and my feet. And also it's really important that when I lift to roll, that my head is tucked through and not out. Because if I roll and put my head out, it's going to hurt. My head shouldn't touch the floor. I'm going to roll over like that with my head underneath. Okay, so I'm rolling onto my shoulders and not onto my head. Alright, so we're going to try it one more time all together. And then we're going to go on to our level 1 forward roll, which any of the primaries that want to try it can try it, okay? So, we're starting our ball position. So down into our ball, head tucked in, bottom up, and roll. Good tuck, good job. And we finish on our tuck, we don't stand up. So, for our primaries, not our primaries, that is our primaries, for our level 1s, we're going to do a pike. So a forwards rolling pike. So we don't start in a ball position and we don't end in a tuck, but the roll is the same. So we stand up for this one, okay, and we put our hands on the floor and we stay in a pike position. Alright, so from the side, pike position. Now if you need to bend your knees slightly, that's okay, you're allowed to bend your knees a bit. Alright, same as before when we did our forward roll, our somersault, our head does not touch the floor. No heads on the floor. Tuck your chin through to your chest. So you know that ball we had earlier? A good trick to try is see if you can keep hold of that by keeping your chin on your chest and squeeze and keep that in all the time, and then that way you won't go on your head. So that's a really good way. If you find that your head always touches the floor when you do a forward roll, this is a good trick to stop that happening. Do a forward roll with something squashed between your chin and your chest. Okay, so we're going to start up in our pike, drop down to our pike, head through, you're going to roll and you're going to finish in a pike sit, okay? And the idea is that we keep our legs as straight as possible that whole way through the roll, alright? So if you want to try it again, you can try it again. If you want to go back to your somersault, you can try that again. So the pike roll in level 1 is a forwards roll starting and finishing in a pike position. So that's straight legs, and a somersault in primary starts in a ball position and finishes in a tuck. So staying as small as you can the whole time. But both times, no heads on the floor, landing on our shoulders, okay? All right, so should we do our pike one more time with me, and then you can give it a go on your own. So, hands up to the floor, keep those legs as straight as you can. Head all the way through, try and get your head on your knees. Chin on your chest, roll and pike. Good job. Okay, well done everybody. Hope you've enjoyed doing acro with me today. Carry on with all of the different exercises, the ones from this week and from last week. Remember, if any of you want a copy of your cards, then get grown-ups to message me. They were meant to be coming on the app, but I'm not sure how much longer the app's going to take. So we'll keep working on that, and if you want a copy of your card in the meantime, I can take a photograph of it and just send it so you can print it off and work on it, or work on it through your phone. That's fine. Alright, so stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next week. Bye!